Hello and welcome back to Crafts with Miss Chelsea. Today we're going to be making magic wands. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome to Crafts with Miss Chelsea. Today we'll be making wands. The materials needed are wooden dowels, a glue gun, paint, and a paintbrush. I also recommend getting some extra glue sticks if you want to be really creative with your design, or make more than one. As you can tell, I'm crafting on a material that isn't the best for hot glue, so I got a plate and I put foil on top just for safety. To start, you want to get your dowel and wait for the glue to heat up. It should take about 60 seconds for the glue to actually get to the melting point. As you start, begin adding generous amounts of glue to the top of the dowel. Remember, this does not need to be perfect. It's actually better with more imperfections because it looks more unique. These are not fairy wands, these are more like what you would find in the Harry Potter universe. Also, be very careful because the hot glue is hot. You do not want it to touch your skin. I went with a drip top to give it a unique grip, and I went with a spiral design on the base of it. As you create your spiral, remember that it does not need to look perfect. The more grooves that you have, the more unique it looks, especially after painting. To create the spiral, I was able to do this by turning the dowel and moving it up as I glued diagonally across. I do not recommend going too far up the dowel just because one side of a wand tends to be smooth while the other is bumpy, and we are creating the bumpy side. I went about a hand grip length with my spiral, but as I started gluing, I noticed these dowels were a bit bigger than what I was expecting, so I added a few knobs to the end of my spiral. You can do this if you want, but this is personal preference. I did it because I thought it would be pretty. You will notice that as the glue dries, it will become opaque. This is a very good indication whether or not it's okay for you to touch it. When the glue is see-through, it's usually still pretty hot, but as it becomes completely opaque, it is time for you to start painting. The color I went with for my paint was a dark umber brown, but it does not need to be simply brown. I have made a variety of colors and they all look nice and unique, so you don't need brown paint. In my experience when painting wands, it's best to go halfway up the dowel and gently between the grooves of the glue. Also, letting this section dry before painting the rest helps the paint stick to the glue better. A pro tip for drying your wand is to put it in an empty recyclable water bottle so that it can sit upright. Once it's finished drying, you're finished. Expecto Patronum! Lumos! Wingardium Leviosa! Magic word!
I hope you enjoyed learning how to make wands. This lesson taught the importance of safety with hot glue and also the importance of creativity. Thank you for joining me.